guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm making some creamy chicken pesto for you with pasta. It's one of my wife's favorite dishes. Let me show you how I do it. So what you're going to need is some chicken. I got about a pound of chicken. I need some pine nuts, of course some basil to make the pesto, some pasta, some butter with some flour to make the roux, and of course some milk. So we'll start by prepping the chicken. And I already got water on the fire, boiling. Well, I put it to boil with some salt, so that'll be boiling in a minute. So let me get processing this chicken. Now all I'm going to do is just remove the fat from the chicken. This is, of course, a whole chicken breast, and then I'm just going to butterfly it out. But I'm going to slice it actually into several small cutlet-like pieces like this. So this one piece of chicken will actually be good for several people. And there we go, the chicken's all ready to go. I'm just going to salt and pepper it. Now I'm going to add some salt and some fresh cracked black pepper to these. And that's about all I'm really going to add. And I'll just quickly saute these in a moment. Let me get to making the pesto sauce. So I have a cup of washed basil leaves, about a cup loosely packed. And I washed them, should have dried them a little better, but just pat them dry with a paper towel. And I'm going to add about a half a cup of pine nuts. Now I store my pine nuts in the freezer because they're really expensive and I want them to last a long time. And we add some salt and pepper. Just a good pinch of salt and a good crack of pepper. And I'm just going to pulse it a couple of times. Get it going. And then I'm just going to add olive oil as I pulse. Now this is extra virgin olive oil, and you want to use a good olive oil for this. And now just work it down so it all gets ground up really good. That's how you make a basic pesto sauce. It's really easy to make for a simple basic pesto sauce. Okay, so you got a creamy pesto sauce in here, just standard. I'm going to, like I said, be making a creamy pesto, so I'm going to be adding this to a bechamel, which I'll actually add a bunch of other stuff to the bechamel, make it closer to an Alfredo than a bechamel. But this is the pesto, so we're going to set this aside and go to the next step. I actually have a large saucepan here. I'm going to use the same saucepan for sauteing my chicken and making my sauce. I also have 4 cups of chicken stock, milk in the microwave warming up. So we're going to use that milk to make the cream sauce that we're going to add the pesto to. Now I'm doing this to save on dirty dishes. So I got my pan hot, so I'm just going to add spice side down into the pan. This pound of chicken. And now that it's in there, I'm going to salt and pepper the other side of the chicken. I'm just going to cover that up and let it saute for a minute on that side. When you cover it, it's actually called steam sauteing. The chicken is sauteing for a minute, so about 4 minutes actually. I'm just going to flip it all over now. And I'm going to cook this through in this pan all the way through. Flip it over and let it saute a couple more minutes on that side. Now the chicken is cooked through, so I'm going to be pulling this off the fire and setting it aside for a few minutes. Now in this pan I'm going to add a couple good tablespoons of butter. And let that melt out. Now that I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of flour and make a roux. And roux is just equal parts of fat and flour, for those of you who don't know. And this is actually too thick, so I'm going to add a little more fat. I'll should add some olive oil. There, that's perfect. I'm going to let this cook for a minute, then I'm going to start thickening my milk to make my cream sauce. Now the roux's been cooking for a couple of minutes, so it's time to add the milk, and I did warm the milk up in the microwave. So I'll add a little bit at first, then whip it in, add a little at a time, whip in all that roux, trying not to get any lumps. Now to the bechamel, I'm going to add some salt, of course some black pepper. You can add Worcestershire, not Worcestershire, but Tabasco, but I'm going to add Frank's Red Hot. And a couple shots of Worcestershire. Whip that out a little bit. You can see it's already boiling rapidly, so I'm going to lower the fire way down. It's already gotten nice and thick. Put on a low fire, very low. We don't want this to burn, so we got to keep whipping. Actually, I turn the fire to the lowest it'll go for a minute, and I'm going to add Parmesan cheese, Parmigiano Reggiano. About that much. This should be about a half cup grated. And by making this sauce in the same pan I cooked the chicken in, you're imparting the chicken flavor to the sauce as well. A little bit more. Basically, this is if I wouldn't have done the chicken and just used the roux and the milk, made the bechamel, then added the Alfredo, added the cheese, that's basically an Alfredo. And now I'm going to add the pesto sauce to this. And get a rubber spatula. And at the same time, the pasta to the boiling water. Now this pasta is just some pasta I got at Costco. Looks fancy, but it's just a plain shape. Now all that pesto right to the Alfredo and whip it together. It smells really good. The fresh basil and the cream and everything mixed together really is a nice flavor. Alright, I'm going to raise the fire on this and just bring it back to a little bit of a boil so all the flavors incorporate. And then once it comes back to a light simmer or boil, I'm going to turn the fire off, cover it so it doesn't form a skin, and set it aside. So I think the pasta's ready. Let me taste one. It's perfectly al dente. So I'm going to pull this off and strain it, and I'll show you how to compose the dish. One thing you should always do to your pasta after you're done cooking it is add olive oil, just so it doesn't stick. And this is actually extra virgin olive oil, and this will add flavor, impart flavor, as well as helping the pasta not stick when you need to use it. Alright, now I'm going to compose a dish. I have a saute pan. I'm putting over high heat, putting a little regular olive oil in there, just a drop. Grabbing a piece of the chicken that I cooked earlier. I'm just going to run a knife through it really fast and dice it. Throw this in the pan. And yes, I'm using a different cutting board than I did with scrub my knife. That chicken cook for just a minute, get it hot again. And this is kind of a crucial step. I mean, you could just plate it up, but it won't taste as good. So I'm going to add about 3/4 of a cup of pasta, a half cup of the sauce I made, and what you want to do is let that pasta really cook in that sauce. You see it's really cooking in there, and it's all imparting the flavor on everything. And I'm going to add some more parm on top. Do one more toss, and let me plate this. And you finish this with a little fresh basil on top, and another little crack of Parmesan. And there you go, creamy pesto pasta with chicken. Thanks so much for watching, guys. God bless. Have a great day.